Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to make this sun pillow. All you need is 6-weight bulky yarn. I'm using a mustard color, an 8mm crochet hook, scissors, a stitch marker, and then a tapestry needle. You also will need stuffing. Alright, to get started, we're going to do 8 single crochet inside of a magic ring for round 1, and you should end with a total of 8 stitches. Make sure you count because we're going to have 8 sun rays at the end, and in order to do that, we have to make sure that this whole pillow is multiplied by 8. Alright, now just pull the tail to close, and you want to make sure that you're marking your first stitch of every round with a stitch marker. For round 2, we're going to be doing 8 increases all the way around, so a total of 16 stitches, 2 single crochet inside the last round single crochet. So that's my first one, and I'm going to do one more inside the same stitch, and then 2 inside the next stitch, and just repeat that all the way around. Alright, now that we're at the end of our round, we are going to remove our stitch marker, and for round 3 we are going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch and then an increase in the second, and we are going to repeat that all the way around for a total of 8 times. Our stitch count at the very end should be 24 stitches, so we will do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 2 in the second, and just keep repeating that. I'll see you for round 4. Now that we're at the end of the round, we're going to remove our stitch marker, and for round 4 we're going to do 2 single crochet in the first 2 stitches and then an increase in the third, and we're going to repeat that 8 times around for a total of 32 stitches. So 1, 2, and then an increase. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and then an increase. And just keep repeating that until you reach the end of your round. Alright, now that we're at the end of our round, we're going to remove our stitch marker, and for round 5 we're going to do 3 single crochet and then an increase 8 times around for a total of 40 stitches. So that was our first, this is our second single crochet, our third, and then an increase. So 1, 2, 3, and then an increase. And repeat that all the way around until you reach the end of this round, and I will see you at the beginning of the next. Alright, now that we're at the end of the round, we're going to remove our stitch marker, and for round 6 we're going to do 4 single crochet and then an increase 8 times around for a total of 48 stitches. So that was our first single crochet, and then we're going to do 2, 3, 4, and then an increase. And just keep repeating that all the way around until you reach back to your stitch marker. Alright, now that we're at the end of the round, we are going to remove our stitch marker, and we are going to do, for round 7, 5 single crochet and then an increase 8 times around for a total of 56 stitches. So that was our first single crochet, and then our second, third, fourth, fifth, and then an increase. And just keep repeating that until you reach your stitch marker. Alright, and then for round 10, we're just going to move our stitch marker up, and we are just going to do 1 single crochet all the way around. No increases, no decreases, and we should end each round with a total of 56 stitches. So make sure you double check, because it's really important that we have this base be a multiple of 8. That way we could do the 8 sun rays and have them evenly spaced. Alright, now that we're at the end of round 10, we are going to remove our stitch marker and then just fasten off. There's no need to leave a long tail because we're going to be tucking them into the pillow anyways. So yeah, just make 2 of them. Now that we have 2, we're going to do the next step by crocheting both sides together. So what I did is I went ahead and tied my 2 tails together. You don't have to do that. It was just easier to do it that way. And we're going to start the sun rays now. Make sure your backs are facing each other and the front of each side is like facing outwards. Alright, and then you're going to insert your hook into the last stitch that we made of both sides. So the last stitch of one of the panels and the last stitch of the second. We're going to pull through our yarn through both sides. Chain 1 just to secure it in place. Make sure it's nice and tight. And then we are going to insert our hook into the same stitch, the last stitch of the last round on both sides of our panels, and then pull through both and make a single crochet. And that's what you're going to do for the next 7 stitches. So insert into the front, into the back, pull through both, and then make a single crochet. I hope that I'm explaining this right. I hope that it's easy to understand. You're basically just crocheting 2 different stitches together. So just keep doing that and make a total of 7 single crochet. And these are going to be worked in rows, not in rounds. It just makes it very easy. Make sure that you have 7. And then chain 1 and turn your work. And then for row 2, we're just going to do 1 single crochet inside each of the 7 stitches. So a total of 7 single crochet, and then at the end we will chain 1 and turn our work. Alright, and for row 3, we're going to do a decrease in the first 2 stitches, 3 single crochet, and then a decrease in the last 2 stitches. And then chain 1 and turn your work. That should leave you with a total of 5 stitches. And then for row 4, we're just going to do 5 single crochet across. So 1 single crochet inside each stitch, no decreasing for this row. And then at the end, we're just going to chain 1 and turn our work. And for row 5, we're going to do a decrease in the first 2 stitches, and then 1 single crochet, and then a decrease in the last 2 stitches. And then chain 1 and turn your work. That should leave you with a total of 3 stitches. And then for row 6, we're going to do 3 single crochet all the way across, so just 1 single crochet inside each stitch, and then chain 1 and turn your work. And then for row 7, we're going to do a decrease all 3 together, and then just chain 1 and turn your work. Alright, you should only have 1 stitch left, so for the last row, we're just going to put 1 single crochet, and then you can fasten off. Don't chain 1, just fasten off like normal. And that is our first sunray done. We're going to do a total of 8 of them, and it'll look so cute at the end. So we're going to have a total of 8 sunrays, but we're only going to do it 6 more times. So we're going to have 7 before we stop and we start to actually stuff the pillow part. So for the next ray, we're going to be working in the 2 single crochets that are right next to that sunray. Make sure you don't accidentally put your hook into the same stitch as the last sunray. Do the ones right next to it. Attach your yarn. Chain 1, tighten up the tail, and then place 1 single crochet through both sides of your work, and do that a total of 7 times. So 7 single crochet down, and we're going to make this just like we did the last sunray. Really, the only difference is that we are inserting our yarn or our hook and attaching our yarn right next to the sunray. So that's the only thing I want to make sure that you knew, but I will go ahead and walk you through this next sunray one more time. So you do your 7 single crochet, chain 1, turn your work. Just put 1 single crochet into the next 7 stitches. So for row 1 and 2, it is just 7 single crochet. Row 3 is a decrease row. Row 4 is just a regular single crochet row. Row 5 is a decrease row, and yeah, that's how the pattern is worked, is we just like alternate back and forth. So for row 3, we're going to do For row 3, we're going to do a decrease in the first 2 stitches, and then single crochet 3, and then a decrease in the last 2 stitches, and then chain 1 and turn your work. And then for row 4, we're just going to do 5 single crochet across, chain 1, turn your work, and then for row 5, we're going to do a decrease in the first 2 stitches, one single crochet, and then a decrease in the last 2 stitches. and then chain 1, turn your work, do 3 single crochet across, chain 1, turn your work, and then we will single crochet all 3 stitches together. So do a decrease across all 3 stitches. You only have 1 stitch left, so we will chain 1, turn our work, and then put 1 single crochet inside that last stitch. And then cut and fasten off your yarn. And you will make 5 more sun rays, and I will meet you back when you have completed the next 5 sun rays. Alright, now that we have all 7 rays out of 8, we are going to start to stuff the pillow. So I like to just stuff it very lightly. With the moon pillow, I really like to get as much stuffing in there as possible, but it's not really necessary with this one. So I'm just going to finish stuffing the pillow and then make my last ray the same as all the other ones. Now that our last ray is completed, we're just going to weave in our ends and then we will be all done with our Whimsi sun pillow. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want more like it. Thank you.